Hi, this is our pre-event analysis on alumni networking happy hours in Collin College. Our group members are Sam Kundo, Nick Lau, Tamsin Tan, and Amy Zhang, and we will have Amy to start off the presentations.
For our event, we will be hosting an alumni networking happy hour. So who's invited to this event? Alumni of the Collins College. So anyone who's graduated from the Collins College, it can be from 10 years ago, 5 years ago, couple months ago, or, anyone who's been a student at the Collins College and any of our current upperclassmen. So that includes our juniors, seniors, and people in our master's degree program. These are the people that we want to target because we want to provide this opportunity open for them. Where? So it will be located at the restaurant at Kellogg Ranch, RKR. Very, very familiar place, easy to find. It's right on campus, and I'm sure everyone has taken a class from there. So it's not a hidden gem place that it's going to be hard to find. When? It's going to be Friday, September 20th, 2024 from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. We chose September 20th is because school starts at the end of August, so it gives upperclassmen a good amount of time to start their last year or last semester of college, and then ease into kind of start planning out what they want to do with after they graduate. So September gives about 1 month time for students to start thinking about what they want to do when they graduate, especially if it's their last semester. And with this event, it will be $15 per person because we are serving alcohol. And why are we providing this event? So we are providing an opportunity for people to come from the outside and speak with people who have questions about what you can do with your life. A lot of students are in the hospitality management program. They're doing their emphasis, but do they actually know what they want to do when they graduate? Some people do. That's great, awesome for them, but some people don't. And this opportunity is an eye-opening experience. You get to speak with people who have experienced the different things in life that you have questions about. What if someone got a hospitalities degree, they graduated here at Collins College, but they didn't go into hospitality? They went into retail, they went into finance, and they're doing something very, very different, but you wouldn't know until you meet that person, right? So with this opportunity, you get to meet all these different people that may have thoughts that you're having. And so with this networking event, we can foster career development, networking, meeting people you've never met before, reconnecting with your old friends, or just a lot of different relationships that can be built just through a small event. And this event isn't formal, super, super casual. You don't have to wear, business clothes. All you have to do is just come, RSVP, purchase the ticket, and you can just come in your PJs, right? And so it's very, very casual, and hopefully it's going to be something that can help a lot of our current students to think about what they want to do after the life after college.
Okay. So there are obviously many external factors that we need to take into consideration while planning for this event. Some political factors may include the health and safety protocols that need to be followed in the kitchen and dining area. It is super important to follow these protocols so we can avoid any risks or food sickness. We do need to make sure that our safety and sanitation in the kitchen and in the dining area is on top of everything. We also need to consider the laws and regulations of the state of California. You do need to be 21 in order to consume alcohol, and since this is a happy hour, we do need to keep that in mind because there will be many people drinking. And also, we need to make sure that our venue has the right licenses, such as the food and liquor licenses that are appropriate for our event, so we could serve our be able to serve our guests the food and drinks that we would like. Some sociological factors that need to be considered are age. Like I mentioned in the previous slide, since this is a happy hour and many people will be drinking, you do need to be 21. If not, it is illegal. We also do need to consider income. Many people attending this event will be college students, and I think we all know that college students do tend to struggle when it comes to money, which is totally understandable. And since there is a $15 fee, we do need to keep in mind some people can afford it and some people can't. So we do need to be mindful about that. And we also need to be mindful about their attitude, our attendees' attitude. Do they even like to drink? Do they like to mingle? Are they awkward? You know what I mean? We do need to take into consideration their attitude towards everything and make them feel as comfortable as they can. If they don't like to mingle, we could set up activities to help them loosen up. If they don't like to drink, we could make sure that we have mocktails on the menu so that they don't feel left out and just drink water or a lemonade or iced tea. And lastly, one of the last external factors that we need to take into consideration is the competition factor. We do need to make sure that our happy hour event is unique and different from the other events that the Collins College has to offer. This college does a really good job of making events to include everybody, such as the Career Expo, guest speakers, and networking events. So we need to take into consideration how those events work and how to make ours different so that people are more encouraged to come to our event.
As for our customer analysis, our external attendees will be considered as all the alumni. So people who already have graduated the Collins College, they will be considered external because they're coming from the outside. They're not connected internally anymore. As for our internal attendees, our current upperclassmen, juniors, and seniors, and anyone who's in their master's degree program here at the Collins College with us, they are also considered as upperclassmen. Any of the staff members, so not just all of our professors or instructors, anyone like our advisors like James, people who work in the office closely within or with the Collins College, they are also considered our internal attendees. Marketing and event coordinators like us, people who are hosting the event are also considered internal attendees. And any ex-attendees, so these are people that choose to leave, right? Alumni who are not actively involved with the Collins College will be considered ex-attendees, but maybe our event is attractive enough, and when they say bye to college, they will actually come back for certain events that really catch their eye. And again, all attendees must be ages 21 years old and above.
Hello, my name is Shuyan Tan. I'll be covering the stakeholder analysis and the gap analysis. So to start off, we need this. Here is the list of 6 main category of stakeholder, and to break down this 6 main category, this is a chart I made. So first off, we have RKR and the coworkers. Basically, I combined 2 categories into one. So right now we can see RKR and the coworkers. They have high power and high interest for our events, so we want to cooperate them. We want to inform them. And we have the Collins College, which is the host or community. They will have high power and also they have high interest to the event. So like what we're dealing with RKR, we want to cooperate with them and we want to inform them. And next up we have alumni, faculties, current students, basically the participants, right? So compared to RKR, the Collins College, they will have relatively less power and high interest. to the event because, well, they're not really making the events, but they do want to come to the event. In this case, we will only need to inform them, so let them know there's an event going on. We would like to invite them to come here. And next one, we have the sponsors. If you can see, you might notice, we don't know yet. We don't know yet we have a sponsor or not. But if we have, let's say if we have like Marriott coming to the campus, want to fund our event to make this event come true, then in this case they will have high power, but relatively low interest because, well, compared to other party, right? They have low interest. And probably they just want to gain their brand recognition from our events. So in this case, we only need to cooperate with them, but we don't need to like inform them like how the event's going. This is how's the outcomes of the event. So that will be necessary. And last one, we have the Collins College social media. Well, in this case, compared to all the other subjects, they will have low power, the lowest power, the least interest to our event. They cannot really do much except advertising our events, basically. So we don't need to do anything about them. We just keep an eye on them. That will be it, right? And next we have the gap analysis. The first gap is the listening gap. The key is, are we knowing the customer expectations? I think we're not. Well, we don't specifically know how interested the community wants to participate in our event, and the reason it could be the lack. It could be like we don't know, right? We lack of historical data to refer to, and we lack of community researching. We don't have any survey, we don't do any questionnaires, we don't know that. So to take actions, we better take a sample from the event that hosts in CPP, or refer to similar event but hosts another campus. Like this one shown right here is the communication class. Down the hill in the CPP, they're hosting almost the same aspect or concept of show like networking events, so we definitely want to take reference from them, or we just start doing events, doing surveys, or either offline and online. And next one, we have a design and standard gap. Are we doing the right event designs and standard? In my opinion, not really. The current event design is not achieving our current event objectives. Our objective is just to refresh you. We are aiming to networking, build connection, career development. And why is this not enough? Because our event design carries only a 2-hour dinner section, which really limits the potential of the event in terms of our objectives. And the action to take from here is to design multiple activities in between, such as having a guest speaker coming into the event to kind of just inspire our attendees, or some icebreaking games that can start to have our attendees to get along with each other, to have them start talking. And next one, we have a performance gap. The question is, are we presenting our events well enough to how we designed it? And I say no, not really, because we lack a referable specific service standard. We don't have an actual standard to follow. Because we're small teams, we're not professional. We don't have historical data to kind of take reference on, so that could be a problem. Or even though we have a standard, it could be biased because we are a small team. We are not customer oriented. So to kind of start solving the problem, we better implement some standard from famous hosts, famous events organizations like SPJ. As you can see here, this is an event organizer that hosts Anime Expo annually. It's a really big event hosted in LA Live. Or we just start doing survey, about service standard, like what the community expect us to do. And last but not least, we need to carry out the training to meet the standard. And last, we have the communication gap. The problem is, are we overpromising the outcomes and service of our events? And I think we're lacking of expectation management. And why? Because some attendees might seeking a professional environment that it is a networking event. They're looking for formal settings, basically. Or some attendees could have complaints on food amount or food quality. So to take action from here, we either ask our attendee to dress formally and behave formally, or we emphasize the informality of our event. Basically, this will be a chilled event. Everybody just kind of talk to each other instead of dress in the suit like what I did right now. And second actions is to let all the attendees know what our menu is, what the food portion is, so they know what they're expecting from our food. To not work out with complaint. Oh, the food is too sour, or it's too salty, or there's not enough. Basically like those to close all the gaps. And that will be it. Thank you.
Okay, and then we will now be going over the analysis of the internal environment. So first, for the agenda for the analysis of the internal environment, we will be going over the SWOT analysis, the VRIO analysis, as well as the tangible and intangibles for our event. So first we'll go to the SWOT analysis and we'll look at our strengths. With the strengths of the Collin College, we do have up-to-date facilities, which is interactive projectors, multi-purpose classrooms, and as well as it's an overall a well-maintained establishment. We also have a well-established hospitality program, being top 5 in the nation and having theoretical and practical lectures. We are a well-known hospitality program compared to a lot of other schools, as well as having a lot of well-known events known as the Career Fair, Employer Expo, and a lot of club involvement with a lot of guest speakers. And another strength that the Collins College has with hosting this event is that we do have a strong alumni network. With the popularity of our major during the past decades, and although even taking a hit during COVID with the industry overall and a lot of enrollment, the alumni network has still been strong and is very well diverse throughout the industry, whether it comes to food and beverage, lodging, or events. There are a lot of Collins College alumni kind of dispersed, whether in state or outside of state, and even outside of the country. And we also have real successful personal examples. And seeing from attending other events myself personally, we see a lot of alumni often return to the college and give back and kind of share their experiences with their time here. Next, we will look at weaknesses. The weakness about this event is that the community and student participation and involvement, there's a huge lack of that in this college, with the college being kind of a commuter college and a smaller student base. It would be more difficult compared to other majors and even other colleges just having student participation and involvement within the event. And there's also limited networking due to our event design, with having alumni only. Although it is kind of a big network, it kind of limits who we can bring, whether it be a professional speaker or an alumni speaker. We wouldn't necessarily bring in a professional speaker because they may not be an alumni. Next, we have directly in contact with former alumni. Although we do have a strong alumni network, with my experience at the Collins College, we often see repeated alumni, returning to the college, meaning that there are new faces here and then, but it's also kind of the same stories being told. And then next, we have the limited amount of students due to the age restriction. So with this event, serving alcohol and being a mixer and having this be a commuter school that is not as involved, one can argue that with this being so restricted and so limited to a certain student population, it is more difficult for more people to be attending. Opportunity. So this is a great opportunity because it helps strengthen our alumni network. It has a higher job placement and graduation rate for the seniors or other graduates or other student attendees that are over 21. It does kind of help with their job placement and graduation rate because they hear stories of the industry, what it's like to be involved. They ask personal advice of how to get their career started, as well as how even some of the students also graduated and their experiences. And we also have a lot of staff support and experience throughout the different aspects of the industry. So meaning that this industry is super vague and there's a lot of opportunity, but what's great about it, like mentioned in the strength, we have a lot of staff and alumni working on all these different aspects of hospitality, as well as even outside of hospitality. It could be in business, engineering, computer science. A lot of workplaces do have that element of hospitality, some that you might not even know of. So that's also a great opportunity. Some threats we have, once again stated, would be the potential lack of student attendees with this being a commuter school, and also with the age restriction, attendance could be a little more difficult. But we also have the possibility of over alcohol consumption. So too much alcohol, which is kind of the biggest threat to this event. And if staff or if students or if even the attendees were to consume too much alcohol, that could lead to issues with the event space, potential disagreements and arguments. Sorry about that. It could lead to potential disagreements and arguments, and it could also lead to making attendants uncomfortable just consuming with too much consumption of alcohol. So next we will look at the VRIO analysis. We'll first begin with valuable. What we have valuable on this campus and this event space is that we do have up-to-date facilities. Once again, we do have a well-established hospitality program, and we do have that strong alumni network. Now we'll be kind of closing it in and what's rare, what makes the Collins College and this event so special. Once again, not all hospitality programs can say they are well-established hospitality programs. We are top 5 in the nation for hospitality, so that's a very limited amount of schools that can, really kind of express that. As well as we have a strong alumni network. Not all schools have alumni that are willing to return and kind of speak about their experiences, but fortunately here at the Collins College we do have a lot of great alumni that often come back and visit and give back to the college. And we're sponsored by many industry giants. Having a Marriott building, a Panda Express room, a Hilton building, a lot of these industry giants often sponsor the college, and there's always a lot of opportunity that comes from the industry that present itself at this college. Inimitable. So these are elements that really make us stand out. And with this could just be the proximity to Los Angeles, with Los Angeles being a huge visitor hub and location that, a lot of people are knowledgeable about, and having a high traffic city, we see that a lot of these industries are kind of oriented within the realm of Los Angeles. A lot of big name brands and hotels and organizations are within this proximity to Los Angeles, kind of making it more beneficial to us because of our location being, 40 minutes out from Los Angeles, which may seem a lot, but is actually pretty close proximity compared to a lot of other schools to huge industry spaces. And simply our partnership with Hospitality Uncorked. So with this partnership, Hospitality Uncorked is one of the largest leading events in hospitality, with the event raising over $70,000 for the or $700,000 for the College of Hospitality. So being partnered with the Hospitality Uncorked and a lot of the industry leaders and corporations, it really gets us kind of interwoven with the industry as well as the college. And next we'll look at organized. Once again, we do have well-organized staff. From my own experience and others' experience, a lot of the staff has a similar goal orientation and are under the same standard. And being at this college for 4 years, I firmly believe that all the staff at the Collins College, whether they are staff or alumni or even administrators or advisors, they really want the best for you and the best route of success to help you graduate with that degree and get you involved in the industry. So that's why I think that's what makes us stand out, and that's what makes us organized. And I think that's what makes the Collins College such a special place for either the attendees or participants. And lastly, we'll be looking at the tangible and intangible. For tangibles, we have an event space, and we also have the food and beverage, which will also, it's tangible. And then we have presentation items such as speakers, microphones, displays, sound systems, whatever is needed to host a successful event can be found at the college. And especially for food, it can be sourced outside, but seeing that we have a great food program here at the college, it would be great to kind of utilize the resources offered at this campus. Some intangible things would once again be the attendee count and the school reputation. And with this being intangible, attendee count, you can kind of send out things like if you want to attend, you have to register, which will give us a more accurate count, but you can never be sure with people kind of either calling out with emergency situations or circumstances, which would lead to never the exact attendee count. But we can't really factor in school reputation. Yes, we are ranked, and it does kind of make it tangible in that aspect, but school reputation, I would say, is also different from school experience. So it's really difficult to kind of rate that because every student and every staff and every person has a different opinion. But other than that, that concludes our presentation. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.